Welcome to the RIM Institute. The RIM is in the shadows of the Muggian Rim, which snakes along northern Arizona. Every summer, from June to September, Joe Norris and Bob Mosby of the Phoenix area present weekend and week-long workshops by professionals in the arts and helping professions. For people who wish to break out of their patterns and try new learning experiences. My name is Jonathan Glasier. Last summer, John Gibbon and myself presented the Conference for Polyhedral Forms and Microtonal Music. Experimenters came from all over North America and shared their visions and their toys. We made a 20-foot blue octahedron, beautiful shape, out of steel struts, and a 70-tone musical instrument out of aluminum pipes. This summer, on June 15th through 17th, with Charles Lucy, a musical experimenter, we are presenting a weekend exploration of making music. We will be performing microtonal scales and music that will be used in the future. If you would like to join us at the RIM, call 602-478-4727 at the RIM Institute. See you there. Just listen, and I'll just sing the triad 4, 5, 6 for a while, and then we'll do it together. Listen Okay, let's try it. Wait. We're only singing one note. It's the harmonics that make the chord. It's the harmonics that make the chord. So we are all the way through. We're singing only one tone. We all have this wonderful tuning, these harmonics within us. And it's my feeling that if we can tune our bodies to the harmonics, then we're doing a very special thing.
I'm Erv Wilson, and to many of you may seem like I'm about to step into another universe. It's about the size of it. Perhaps it would be better to say I'm going to sink a little bit deeper into this universe, and to do so I will just have to abandon a lot of common jargon. I hope to be able to fascinate you a bit with images, hold you spellbound, while I can possibly explain a couple of little things to you. This is a handheld model. I will talk about all of these images across here as quickly as possible. And then you can pass this around. If my prose gets a little bit dry, think about the images. It'll come to you. The subject of my conversation at the moment will be the interfacing of musical tunings to crystallographies. And I hope with this brief discussion to be able to make contact with other people who are using similar crystallographies in other disciplines, in architecture, in chemistry, in whatever discipline that they're involved. I started using these. I began about 20 years ago to explain musical scales to myself and my students by drawing functional diagrams on sheets of paper. And as my scales became, well, somewhat more articulate, as I began to be able to reach, to shape, I see myself, frankly, as a sculptor. And rather than as a composer, if I create a beautiful scale, that's where it is for me, and then the composer can take up from there. I found after a while that some of my scales, although I could put them on a quadratic grid, didn't show their interior symmetries when I did that, and that if I used other objects as my basic module and developed patterns from that, then the symmetries within the structures became apparent. I could all of a sudden see things that I hadn't seen before, or show things to other people that they hadn't seen before, and use them musically. So I've begun actively now exploring the possibilities of the geometric forms for musical resources. It started with music, leading me into crystallography, and now I'm working from crystallography back to music. But I'm also seeking people who are knowledgeable in other aspects of crystallography, architecture, whatever. For interfaces, hues, to show me where I can still go. And perhaps they can come this way too, toward music, the meaning of music and the various possible sciences, wherever it is appropriate.
Erv, what's this scale called?
The scale doesn't have a name. It just goes by the name Hebdomecontony, which is the name of I guess Hebdomecontony is what it's called. That means 70, set of 70. There's 2 octaves of 70.
There was a rainbow, and you know that the whole infinite spectrum of color is in that rainbow. Every single color is in that rainbow because it's a harmonic spectrum of color. Well, in music, there's the same rainbow as there, but musicians for the last 300 years have only had a language that includes 12 different islands, if you will, 12 different specks on that rainbow, 12 different values of sound. So what would it be like if an artist was only allowed to use 12 colors? And for 300 years after he started, then still the culture didn't know anything but those colors. There may be other colors used, but there was no language to talk about it. Well, that's exactly what's been happening in music for the last 300 years, and that's why we're so excited now that we're building a language to talk about this.
Erv, how is this musical scale different than others?
In the way it's organized around the points of an octahedron. Instead of the scale itself, the word scale implies a stairway, escala, escalera. Or normally we think of the scale as being a stepwise movement of tones upward from the tonic up to an octave and back down. This scale does not have a step-like progression of tones. They are more nearly arranged like the points of an octahedron. And the way we organize the tones reflects on how we're going to use the scale. This scale doesn't travel up and down like a stairways. It travels around this octahedral pattern.
This is the wing. This is made out of a space metal.
tell you what this is now. Believe it or not, this is 13-tone equal temperament. The most disharmonious sound in the universe. But because of the particular timbre of the particular metal that this is built on, it sounds rather lovely, yes. And that's because the scale is non-harmonic, but the metal is non-harmonic to begin with, and they seem to complement each other. I'll play the 13-tone scale, starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the octave. One of the interesting features of this scale is that it does have a very, very close acoustical approximation to the golden section. 9/13ths of the octave are almost exactly the golden section. If we were to stretch 13 equal just a little tiny bit and forfeit the octave, which we don't play anyway, I mean, who wants to pay much for octave? We would have exactly perfect golden sections.
Things are happening, and now my partner and I are in the process of just feeling those new energies that are coming in and trying to determine what the best direction is as we go into the next level of our evolution. It seems to me that what is really happening is that this place reflects the transformation of consciousness that's going on around the planet, and that this is just a little microscopic version of that. And so as we move on into the next phase of what we're doing here, we just have to be open to the evolutionary process and to see what that brings us. I think that Bob and I began it, and now many others are coming in to carry it on.
God. We've had a lot of different things happening at the Rim in the week we've been here. We've understood the interconnection between geometry and crystals and music and architecture, and it seems as if there's one theme that runs throughout all of this, which means that there's the same pattern for everything in life, and that this is a universal pattern. This is what John Gibbon is speaking about with his archetypal figures, showing these figures rather than speaking in words. So there's a universal understanding. It seems as if we're on the verge of new physics and new maths, which is going to lead us to much, much greater understandings of the nature of our world and the universe. And I think the RIM Institute is one of the places where these discoveries can be formulated and put together. So I'm now going to put to Joan where she sees the future.
When you all came to the RIM for this workshop, you did an exercise that you did a meditation, and then you asked for questions to come out of that meditation about how to bridge forward into a new kind of world, a world where there is harmony and where there is a way of living that acknowledges our great capacity as human beings. And so I did that meditation too, and as I thought about the bridge that goes from where we are now into this world of the future, which is based on openness and love and loving relationships with ourselves and with our higher selves, the question that came to me was the way to get across this bridge is love. And what is the form that love takes? What is the form that love travels in?
What is the most effective way or ways to let others see and experience our vision?
What are those scales, forms, and models which can best represent the archetypes for a world curriculum for non-verbal pattern recognition, which can lead us to perceive the connections between all things?
What do I change about myself? My way of viewing the world, my way of walking through the world, my way of expressing the totality of myself as a being of the future and a model for all mankind.
How can we assist each other in manifesting the new reality that we are creating right now? Our new world is a mirror of our energies. How do we focus and then let it happen effortlessly?